You just go to playground.wordpress.net and you've got a WordPress site in your browser. Talk to us a little bit more about this and why people should be so excited about playgrounds.
Well, for me, it's absolutely magic. Yeah, it's kind of like Isaac Asimov said, yeah, in a higher level of sophistication in computers, it feels like magic. And this is what it is for me. It's based on, it's called WebAssembly, and it works all in your browser. You don't need PHP. You don't need a database. You don't need to get automatically WordPress installed, and you have a site where you can test things. That is really kind of revolutionary for the web. Yeah, because you don't need a server. Yeah, it's all in the browser.
Hey everybody, it's Roger with Kinsta. I'm joined by a good friend, Birgit. Hey Birgit, how are you?
Hey Roger, it's so great to be with you again. Yeah, and talk to your listeners. Yeah. Hello everybody.
Awesome. So the last time we talked, it was right before WordCamp Asia. And now here we are. It's right before WordCamp Europe. Very exciting, just a few weeks away. And you've got a workshop, as you do. So really exciting. You've had this talk before, but this time it's going to be a workshop, so it's longer. Let's dive right in. Tell me what this thing is and why people should come to it.
Well, it's about Playground, and it's about creating demos with Playground. And it starts with on 0 level to demo. So we're trying to get in the workshop to get you from not knowing what a blueprint is to at least get at some point to have something to go out with. So, be it a demo on a plugin or be it a demo on a theme. And yeah, it's going to be really cool, interactive. You code on your own laptop. We use the blueprint builder that's in the Playground interface, so you don't have to bring anything. If you want to, if somebody wants to and comes to the workshop, but you need to register now because it's going to fill up. It's on WordCamp.Europe. No, Europe.WordCamp. If you have an idea of what you want to demo, it would be good to bring at least the content in a local environment so you can upload it to GitHub or something like that. But other than that, you can use all my content for those demos. Then you can the users then can replicate what they did and what we did in the workshop.
Very exciting. So just to back up a little bit, let's talk about playgrounds, just for people who might not be familiar. So I really am excited about playgrounds because I always struggled setting up a local environment. I remember the days of WAMP and MAMP, but it's gotten a little bit easier now, right, with Docker, but it's still a very technical thing to set up these local environments. And now we've got playgrounds. You just go to playground.wordpress.net and you've got a WordPress site in your browser. Talk to us a little bit more about this and why people should be so excited about playgrounds.
Well, for me, it's absolutely magic. Yeah, it's kind of like Isaac Asimov said, yeah, in a higher level of sophistication in computers, it feels like magic. And this is what it is for me. It's based on, it's called WebAssembly, and it works all in your browser. You don't need PHP. You don't need a database. You don't need to get automatically WordPress installed, and you have a site where you can test things. That is really kind of revolutionary for the web. Yeah, because you don't need a server. Yeah, it's all in the browser. And that kind of really got me going. I said, I need to learn this thing and I need to really master it in terms of what we can do. And so that's, yeah, it's really magic. And blueprints are kind of the configuration files. They're all written in JSON, and the configuration file meaning what plugins do I need? What themes do I need? What settings do I need? Yeah, kind of, do you need a site options setting? Do you want to put a logo on that demo? Do you want to, where does the user get to? So landing page settings, yeah, when everything is loaded, where does the user go to your demo? Yeah, or how do they enter that? And you can use your PCLI commands, you can use PHP commands in a step. You can also upload code to GitHub, for instance, and then load it in as a plugin or as an MU plugin. MU stands for must use. And so it's kind of a little bit in the background. And yeah, you can then modify theme settings and all that. Really good to have a blueprint or understand how blueprints works. If you're a theme developer or a plugin developer, then you can say, users, I can write all the words you want. I can have a video where I show everything, but it's something different to have a user experience how things work. They can try it out. They can poke around and kind of see how can it break or how can I make it work for my use case. And that's always really hard for product developers to figure out the right use case for that user in that point in time. And those are the questions. A blueprint for Playground helps you with all that.
Excellent. All right. Okay, so that's playgrounds. So now we've got this workshop where you're really going to dive into the playground and then this blueprint, which is a relatively new aspect of that. And it's kind of like templates. For the people that are coming to this workshop with this deep dive, who's really the ideal user that you think is going to get the most out of coming to this session?
There are 2 or 3 kind of user groups. One is a theme developer. The other one would be to show off the theme with multiple demo pages and load some content in so people can really see how it all works. Because most of the previews for themes you get is just that list of blocks or blog posts and nothing else. Yeah, no, not much of images or how it all feels together on the archive pages. One post, one page, one comment. More you don't see more. So for theme developers, it's really helpful to show off the theme, and you don't have to set up a separate site for the demo site. As you can just give up that link, and every user sees the new thing, but you don't have to maintain the demo site. Plugin developers are the other group because it's really hard to, when you look through the WordPress directory of plugins, you read what it does, and everybody gets a different picture of what it actually is supposed to do.
Yes.
Yeah, and sometimes I thought it would do that. Okay, it doesn't do that. So if you use it on your live site, you have to install it, take it off, and try it and test page. And so you mess up your local site, your production site. You don't have a local server. Use the blueprint, and the plugin developers have the chance to say, okay, we load in all the settings that we know that this can do, and then guide the user through all the different use cases. For instance, WooCommerce, right? You don't really know how WooCommerce feels when you don't have products in. So there is a blueprint there in the gallery. Yeah, Playground actually has a blueprint gallery where you can test some of that and look behind the scenes again and see that's how they do it. So the blueprint for WooCommerce, you load in the products, you load in WooCommerce, you set some of the settings for WooCommerce that normally when you open up WooCommerce, you have to fill up 15 pages to
Sure.
get all the information in. Yeah. And that's already done. And then you have a special extension for WooCommerce, like a payment extension or a certain shipping extension or something like that. How will a user ever test this before unless they install it on a site that actually needs it and
Sure.
then be either disappointed or it doesn't work right or whatever.
Okay.
So a playground with Blueprint helps with that particular use case. And you don't have to. We talked about last year in Europe, in WordCamp Europe, I talked with a plugin developer who was actually looking for that kind of thing.
Okay.
He was asking all kind of questions. Should I do Insta WP or should I go to a hosting company and create some staging sites, and how many customers I have? I don't know. And I don't know how many sites. Every customer needs a new site. Said, well, I have that little thing for you that's called Playground. And she said she was really totally amazed by what it can do. Then we did a demo together. And so, yeah, that's definitely the use case for plugin developers. Another one could be agencies use it to demo multiple kind of vertical sites that they have done or that they want to show off. So a potential client can see what it's all about and how it looks and feels.
Absolutely. And I think this is where we start to hit the limitation a little bit with playgrounds, right? Is it's only in your browser. In order for other people to see it, that's when you do need to move it onto a server. But I think the really nice thing with playgrounds is it has this amazing export functionality. So once you've done your work and you've got everything that you're happy with, you can export it out of the browser mode and load that into your favorite hosting company or, wherever you want to host that website. And so now then the public can see it. And so I think that's it. That is an important distinction to make sure people understand what the playgrounds is. It's local, and you're just It's a playground, exactly what it says, right? Almost a sandbox type of situation.
And users can save it also to their own browser. So if they come back to the same link, they can then continue working on it. They don't have to do it all in one setting. And that's right. You can also download it as a zip file. You can push it into GitHub. There are multiple ways to make it more persistent and the work that you do on Playground. I know that quite a few people think about using it for creating themes.
Okay.
That they do in Playground. They load the Create Block Theme plugin into it and then save that. When they save that, they also can push it as a PR to GitHub so they don't touch code anymore. And once they're done with the design of that, they push it to GitHub and the developers can do the rest of it, or they can upload it and have a PR there with the new patterns or new templates or something like that. Yeah, so that's also, there are some workflows that have been developed. And I'm sure there are coming more. Yeah, I know that Adam Shilinsky, who is one of the core developer of it or the magician from it, and there is actually another use case that will be a workshop too. So mine is the beginner workshop, and then Barrow has his workshop is about using Playground for automatic testing. Yeah, so you can initiate with Playground multiple test runs on a site. And so load the site into Playground, see what breaks, and then kind of fix it. So that's going to be really interesting. And I'm glad it's not at the same time as mine because I want to be in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So lots of excitement here. It sounds like this is also a great gateway for people who maybe want to start learning how to develop using GitHub and they haven't, maybe they haven't made that leap yet. And you can start with Playground, what makes it really easy to get everything set up. And then now you can start playing with pushing stuff to your GitHub account. And I think for a developer at this day and age, and I'm speaking as a non-developer, but it seems to me at this point, if you want to be a developer and you're not using GitHub, you're missing a major boat right there. And it sounds like this could really be a great entry point for people to start considering that in their tool bucket.
Good point.
This is great. I'm always excited to talk with you, Birgit. As far as WordCamp Europe itself goes, it's in Basel, Switzerland this year. Have you been?
Have been, because my in-laws live about an hour north of them, of Basel, and I can really recommend the Tangali Museum.
Okay.
And just a walk through the old town is beautiful. And then there's these, Basel is also the home of Art Basel, which is a huge, gigantic art fair, I would say, but it has the most interesting contemporary and modern art on display with the galleries that are there. And I've never been to that. I've been to the Art Basel in Miami.
Okay.
Miami Beach.
Sure.
And that was really took my breath away. So I'm thinking about going there, not this year, but yeah, definitely the next few years I'm going to have that on my bucket list.
Excellent, excellent. I made a trip down there right after CloudFest this year.
Yes.
And did a self-guided walking tour of the city. It's a very walkable city. From where the convention center's at, we can easily walk to the river, get across the river, be in the old town, go to the museums. The sunrise on the river was absolutely beautiful. So I can't recommend enough that people go to this WordCamp. It's really going to be a beautiful setting and a fun time. Birgit, our time is so short on these. I impose such a short restriction on myself, but it's always great to see you. It's great to talk with you.
Same here.
If people want to reach out to you and say hi on the internet, how should they do that?
Well, I'm on Blue Sky with bph.social.
Okay.
Or I'm on Twitter with bph. Yeah, I get some great street credit from the youngins when I have a 3-digit Twitter handle. I'm also at WP Slack. You can always DM me on the WordPress Slack. And yeah, that's it. And yeah, reach out when you see me at WordCamp Europe and I'm talking with someone. Just come up and introduce yourself and we'll have a conversation together. It's not that you're not disturbing. It's kind of, you're not.
Absolutely.
Don't be shy. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, Birgit, it's always great to talk with you. I look forward to seeing with you in just a few weeks.
Same here.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much for having me, Roger.
You're very welcome.
Bye-bye.